everybody, and welcome back. We are back doing interviews again. I have a very special one for you tonight, a very interesting one. This person has over 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, 11,000 subscribers on Facebook, and 14,000 on Instagram. So obviously he must be doing something right in promoting this amazing sport of ours. Please help me welcome Nightmare to the channel.
Hey, man, Andrew, it's good to be here, man. Good to see you. How you doing?
Not too bad. How about you?
Oh, man, I can't complain, dude. Paintball season's finally hitting that nice point of the year where the weather's starting to cool off and things are just, it's easier to play now. So, like, life is good, my friend.
Yeah, way easier. We're going away this weekend, and they're saying that nighttime we're camping is supposed to hit 7 degrees, so it is perfect.
Ooh. Campfire weather, a few brewskis around the flames, bonding with the buddies, and then getting bruised up the next day.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds like a good plan. I'm so excited for you because I wish I was doing that.
Yeah, no, it's this is our first time we met at Wasaga's big game. So this is our first time out since Wasaga. So looking forward to it.
Where are you guys playing at?
Fort Knox in Indiana.
Ooh, nice little drive.
Yeah, it's a nice little drive, but honestly, the field, not saying that other people don't, but it's just you can tell that this owner puts 110% of the money that he makes back into the field. It is absolutely amazing, and I bet you he has over $1 million in sea containers. Like, it's insane.
I love sea container fields, man. There's just something about them. You can stack them, you can lay them out, you can have tight mazes, you can create buildings. I just wish they were cheaper. But if they were cheaper, everybody would have them. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I figure since I got you, we can ask you a couple questions. We'll start off easy, and then we'll progressively get a little harder and harder down to the nitty gritty, and see if we can stump you or something like that, or put you on the spot. So the first
challenge accepted.
Perfect. The first one is what got you in the paintball? Was it the normal birthday party and just got hooked, going out with friends, or what got you hooked?
It was a couple of things that kind of got me hooked. My best buddy, Brad Odell from the Maritime Paintball podcast, back in 2009, he decided to pull me out of wherever I was and say, hey, I play this thing called paintball. It's a lot of fun. I am what they consider a sniper. And I was like, ooh, they have snipers in paintball? That sounds kind of cool. I'm a big Call of Duty fan. Turns out it was just a 98 custom with like a 26-inch barrel on it. So, you know, back in 2009, that was considered being a sniper, how we've progressed. So he takes me out for my very first time, and we went to this little field in the middle of nowhere, and the rental gun I had completely died even before the first game. And so I'm sitting there with this little 98 in my hand, ready to go, and all of a sudden a valve must have went on it or something, or an O-ring, and it just went full auto into the dirt. The whole hopper gone. I was like, what is going on here? Ended up getting a mag fed for my very first time playing paintball. I had no idea MagFed even existed at this time. This is 2009. So I was like, okay, I got one mag. That's all I had was one mag and the marker. So that was my first time ever playing paintball. I had no ambition to ever play it again. I was like, hey, I did it once. I'm good. It's cool. Now we'll fast forward to 2012, where I was about 250 pounds of not so awesomeness. I mean, I was a big guy. Like, oh man, if I could show you the pictures, I would. I have them somewhere. I'll show you sometime. I was playing Call of Duty. I was a huge Call of Duty nerd. That's all I did. I ran a massive clan way back in the day. And when Call of Duty Ghosts came out, just out of curiosity, within the first 6 months, I checked my stats, and it said that I played online for a month solid within the first 6 months of the game coming out. I got sick to my stomach. I literally put my controller down on the floor between my legs, got up, walked 5 feet over to my computer, hopped on eBay, and bought a Tippmann A5. just like that. Only having played paintball once, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go do this for real. I'm done pretending to play Call of Duty. I'm going to actually go play this sport. And then it just took off from there. I fell in love with it. It was an adrenaline rush, crawling through the bush, like sneaking on people. This is well before I even thought about being a YouTuber. So I didn't have to play to make the footage look cool. I got to play how I wanted to play. So literally camping in bushes, waiting for people to walk by. Such a good time. I still have a lot of that. When I did get a camera, that's how I did play at the time. But I still have that footage somewhere on a hard drive. And it was addicting to go to work and actually have something to talk about rather than Call of Duty for the first time in years. Everyone's like, oh, the Call of Duty guy's back. And then I became the paintball guy. And I think it's a stigma I haven't shaken to this day. I've always been the paintball guy.
Yep, that's, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much what most of us unfortunately get, because it's just, when I find anyway, when you get hooked and it's something that you love, that's what you want to talk about.
Oh, exactly. Like, how many people get to tell the stories that we get to tell?
Without going to jail.
Exactly. It's so weird when people walk past you and they're like, did he just say he shot someone in the face this weekend? I'm like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And then another person to tell the story to, right?
Yeah, no, it's great. And that's, no, that's interesting that it's not, because normally everybody is like mine, I got hooked for a birthday party. So that's normally what everybody is. So it's nice to hear that, especially as something different. So
yeah, it's you're right. Most people get to experience it through a birthday party or a work function or something along those lines. Whereas mine was just a buddy who pulled me out, and then I just got tired of being a huge dude who played Call of Duty, and and then over time I went from being this really big guy to what I am now, and I'd like to think it's all paintball that did it, because I started thinking, oh, well, I play paintball. That makes me an athlete. I gotta think like an athlete and eat better. And I'd go to the field and bring protein bars instead of, eat the hot dogs that they provide. It kind of set that mentality of like, I'm doing something physical on the weekends and I have to take care of myself if I want to do better. And I'd like to think I'm doing a little bit better on the field now than I did 10 years ago. But yeah, it was a total blast.
Well, that's great. I love hearing everybody's first time and playing paintball. I really do. What type of paintball do you play? Do you do the scenario? Do you do the MagFed? Are you a tournament? Are you speedball? What do you like to play?
I would like to think that I am all of the above except for speedball. So I'm a very dynamic, fluid, hybrid player. I've played Pump. I've been in Pump tournaments. I've played MagFed. I've been in MagFed tournaments. I've done scenarios. I'd like to say there's a scenario tournament, but there's not. And I've played it all. And I think everybody should try every aspect of paintball. And if my knees weren't so broken, I'd probably give speedball a try, because I think I love that high-paced action. Just go, 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 and there's no real slow down. It's just constant action. So that's on my bucket list. I've got to try at least one speedball game before I'm done. But currently I'm in this new phase that I've recently found, and I think I've discovered it at Wasaga, where I love shooting a lot of paint. I think I shot 2 cases of paint, my first time in 12 years of playing, that I shot 2 cases of paint at an event. And as much as it hurt my wallet, the smile on my face was something I hadn't seen in years. So I love the idea of MagFed. It's great, but I think there's a time and a place for everything. For me, MagFed is more dedicated for first strikes. If I want to challenge myself on a walk-on maybe, or bring myself down a level, I will play MagFed. But if I'm just trying to just go out, shoot paint, I now use the box rotor on my MagFed marker. So it's kind of like having a hopper on there, but now the hopper doesn't get in the way of my cameras, which being a a content creator for paintball, a hopper is your worst enemy. I've tried it, and there's so many times where I'm like, no, I just can't get this right. That one time I just try to get that one guy real quick, and suddenly the hopper is boom right here in front of your face. So to say, what do I play right now? Everything. I'll play anything. Just get me on the field. I just want to shoot people in the face with spherical objects filled with paint.
Nice. Perfect. No, if you definitely you do your bucket list and you get out there and play speedball, I definitely think that you will be hooked, because it is insane. Because like they had at the local field around here now, they had streetball, so points were 4 minutes. So it was go 4 minutes strong and shoot as many guys as you can, the 5 versus 5. So it just, yeah, I think you'd get hooked pretty quick if you play speedball. I really do.
Oh, I know I would. I just competed in a 3v3 MagFed tournament this summer. We did win. We won by a single point. Very tight competition. It was the least amount of drama I've ever seen on the paintball field. It was, I think there was, I want to say 10 to 12 teams. And it was hard. Like, it was not like, you know, when you show up sometimes to a walk on or a scenario, you're like, okay, whatever. No, this was like, okay, guys, the top 3 teams are neck and neck, like one mistake and we're done. And I'm a team killer. So like I was smoking my own guys all day long, and I'm like, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, this is my fault. If we lose, it's my fault. I'm so sorry. Trigger happy. But it was fast paced, small fields, 3v3, 5 minutes. And it was go. So it was, there was no objectives. There was no flags. It was just straight elimination. And we played it like speedball, where we had the call outs, you know, kill 1, kill 2, splash 1, splash 2. And then we had other call outs for, you know, when you needed to run down the last guy or whatever the case might be. But yeah, I love competing in paintball. There's something about competition paintball that is just, it trumps scenario on so many different levels.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big time. I like it for the fact that most of the time, most people, not everybody, but most people, I just like it so much where, like, out on the field, even in scenario, but especially in speedball, I could be like in your face, shooting you in the friggin' face, in the throat, wherever. But then when we get off the field, I'll shake your hand, I'll give you a hug, great game, and then we go on our separate ways. Like it's done, it's over. So
I love the camaraderie in paintball. I think we hate everybody that we point our marker at in that moment. But as soon as the horn goes, it's all brotherly love. Oh man, you got me good. You peppered me from here to here, dude. It was, oh dude, I leaned out too far and you just took advantage of that. Or, you know, I love that. It's like on the field, you just want to rip each other apart. But as soon as the horn goes, it's done. For most people.
People, some people have, well, what I call from hockey, helmet head. The mask is a little too tight, I think, and the blood's not flowing to the brain too well. So for some people, so
oh, those poor people.
Yeah. Now let's get into some harder questions. You've played big games all around, and just like us and everything else. What are your top 3 fields? Doesn't have to be in Canada, anywhere in the world that you've played. Top 3 fields and 1 or 2 reasons of why.
Oh, you suck. I as soon as you gave me this question, I was like, okay, top 3. And then suddenly a 4th popped up and I was like, oh man. Okay, I'll go top 3 active fields right now. I want to say Sniper's Den in Oregon is one of my favorite fields of all time. I love shooting first strikes on that field. It is perfect for big game. It's got the perfect amount of hills. It's got the perfect layout, and it's only used for super game. There's no walk-ons. There's no rentals. There's no nothing. It's only used for super game. The field owner is a farmer. Greg Bergery, awesome dude. Love the guy to death. And so he takes care of this field solely for super game. He has no reason to run paintball all year long because he takes care of his field and his orchard. That's his breadwinner. So he just uses the paintball field to bring in a little bit of extra dough once a year through super game. So I love his business model and I love the field and how immaculate it is every year. My next, I can't put one in front of the other right now. So I'm going to say they're equally tied, but these are the other two. Wasaga and Commando Action Center. Two fields here in Ontario, amazing for scenarios. D-Day, such a fun event. That is such a target-rich environment. There's so many different ways that you can play that field, whether you want to be out in the open and you just want to trade paint all day, or you want to go sneak through the muddy, swampy bush and you want to come out up to your hips in mud, but just to get that one amazing kill, totally worth it. And then Wasaga, maybe it's just the novelty factor or just the layout of the field, but it is the most professional looking field I've seen in Canada. Just the way it was ran, it was so smooth. The field was amazing. It was rolling hills the whole way. They can break up their field into small sections, same as Commando. They can do the same thing. So that's why these guys are tied. But you can just play like a small village game over here, or you can go on these like rolling hills over here where, you know, if you have to respawn, you might as well just be done because you're going to kill your legs. But yeah, those two fields, they're just so two amazing fields, both for their respective reasons. But yeah, those are my top three. If I could have went with a fourth, and I won't because they're closed, PRZ. That field is like, I live what would have been half an hour away from that field now. I just moved here. I was moving here for PRZ. And when I finally got everything arranged, I got the notification that they're closing down. I was like, no way. I'm like, I finally get to move close to PRZ to make that my home field, and they closed down. But now I'm kind of central to all the big fields. I'm 3 hours to Wasaga, 3 hours to Commando. I'm not going to complain. But yeah, PRZ, oh my God, that field is just honorable mention. Super cool field. CQB in an old military shack. You can't beat it. You can't. Anything CQB. I think personally, I like this sidebar to everything. I think paintball should all be CQB. There should be no lanes, especially in scenario paintball, like a couple here and there for like the first strike guys or guys who just want to shoot ropes. But I love it when I don't know where the enemy player is. I love turning a corner and now 10 guys being there. Like, oh, either A, I effed up, or B, I'm about to get 10 free kills.
Yeah.
I just love CQB paintball.
Yeah, that was PRZ actually, until it closed, was our season opener every year for probably 6 years, I want to say.
Wow.
So, and we made the trip from London to PRZ every year, so that's about a 4-hour drive, 4.5-hour drive. But like you said, It's well worth it though.
Oh yeah, I would, when I was living on the West Coast, I would fly in just for PRZ. I had when I was sponsored by DEF CON, when I was sponsored by DEF CON, they fronted the entire trip for me to come from the West Coast to PRZ just to play there, and I begged and pleaded for that event. I was like, out of everything you guys do for me, just get me to PRZ. Like, there was something about Ontario paintball. I love it here. It's where the paintballers play.
Yeah.
Ontario.
Yeah, 100%. Switching gears just a little bit, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you were on YouTube. What was your reason for joining YouTube, showing off the sport? Did you have, or do you have, a favorite YouTuber? And the person doesn't have to be in paintball, it could be any YouTuber.
That is such a good question. So as weird as this is going to sound, I joined YouTube by accident. I did not mean to start nightmarepb at all. So around the time Call of Duty Ghosts came out, so I was still actively playing Call of Duty, but I was still also playing paintball. Call of Duty Ghosts came out, and it came with an action camera. This little side-mounted helmet cam. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was the COD cam or something like that. Really crappy, really, really crappy camera. It came out, and I looked at this, and I said, you know, I've got friends that snowboard and go skiing and do all these cool extreme sports, and they make cool videos about it. I was like, I can do that. And I'm going to post them on Facebook like they post on their Facebook accounts. So I very, very in a very jerry-rigged manner, attached this camera to my Empire E-Flex at the time. Or no, it was Events. I think it was Events. I ended up like pretty much super gluing it to the side of it, and I went and played paintball. And so I took the video, chopped it up, turned it into a quick little 3-minute montage of the day, and I posted it to Facebook into the paintball groups page. It was like Hyper Sports Paintball. Posted it there, and people were liking it. They're like, "This is kind of cool. I like this. Awesome job. Thanks for showing our field." I then was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." So I'm going to take that video and I'm going to upload it to another group. I think it was like How Big is Paintball on Facebook. But at that time, there was no share button on Facebook. You couldn't just share something. You had to upload it. So I went to go upload it to their group, and Facebook's like, "No, you cannot upload this exact same video twice to our platform." I was like, "Okay, that's strange, but all right." I was like, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on YouTube, and then I'm just going to share the link. I'll show you, Facebook." So I started doing that. I started making these little videos, putting them on YouTube. And then like back then, anybody could join the YouTube partner program, which is how you become monetized and earn any revenue through ads. Then one day I after joining it, thinking nothing of it, I looked at my statistics and it was like, "You made 1 cent." I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I can actually make money on YouTube by posting cool stuff like paintball videos? Light bulb. All right, I need a channel name. All right, think. Oh, what's my gamer tag? Oh, I think it's FBH Nightmare. Oh, okay, Nightmare. Well, okay, that'll be my YouTube name. What do I do? How can I optimize this? Nightmare Paintball. Nightmare Paintball. That's awesome. And then it just didn't roll off the tongue. And I was like, okay, Nightmare PB. And then that ended up sticking. In hindsight, terrible name. If like as far as I hate my YouTube channel name, I truly do. But it was what I picked back in 2013, 14, whenever I started the first channel. So this isn't my first channel. I was following Alabaster Slim at the time, so I was watching his progress, and he became a mentor of mine. He actually saw me posting videos, and we became friends, and we were chatting back and forth. He joined what they called back then a multi-channel network, which is where they promise you so much more money through ads. They're just going to let the river of cash flow towards you. So I joined the same program because I saw he was in it. I was like, "Hey, Slim, I joined the same program as you." He's like, "Dude, you made the worst mistake of your life. You're locked in for 5 years and they're going to take half of your income. They're not going to get you anything more. They'll get you more, but they're going to take half of it every time, every video." He's like, how many subscribers you got?" I was like, 136. He goes, "Cool. Delete your channel, start a new one." I was like, "Seriously?" He's like, "Yep, delete your channel. It's not worth it. Start new. You can get those 136 back in no time." I was like, "All right." And off I went. So new channel, Nightmare PB, started August 1st, 2014. I get the little birthday thing on YouTube that comes by. So happy 10 years to me on YouTube, I think now, just roughly. But yeah, so that's how it all started. It was literally an accident. I just was like, you know what? Screw you, Facebook. I'm literally going to just upload to YouTube and share the link. And then from there, it just snowballed, and then you watch how to grow your YouTube channel. Oh, to grow a YouTube channel, you have to have a Twitter account. You have to have an Instagram. You have to have Facebook. You got to share people back and forth. And so, the number seems high, but it's over 10 years. So it's a very slow growth. Our community's not huge, and there's a bit of a negative connotation to being an e-celeb or paintball content creator within our community. I think that's slowly going away. I think some of the dinosaurs are kind of like going to the wayside, and now the newer kids are like, the world revolves around social media. Yeah, kind of does. So now I think there's like new life, new breath coming into the paintball scene. I'm starting to see more kids creating and more, well, I call them kids, but it's because I'm 35. But I see these younger guys creating content. So it kind of seeing their passion fires my passion up to like keep wanting to go, even if, I'm seeing a fraction of the views that I got, 6 years ago. But yeah, total accident. Happy accident.
Happy accident for sure, because you're definitely like your videos. I'm a subscriber to your channel. I've watched your videos, and like it highlights. It's doing exactly what I feel that we need to do. Try to take out the negative of the sport and put more of a positive spin. That's how come I went with the action and vlog style, was to show the humanity behind it, where it's just like we're not a bunch of punks.
Yeah.
So
and I think that's needed, honestly. I've dabbled in the vlog world of YouTube as well. I think I have a video called "This is Super Game." And I really enjoyed making that. You know, you're out with your camera, and it's so hard. Like I saw you vlog. I watched your Wasaga vlog. Very good, by the way. And I was just like, man, I wish I still had that confidence to pull out the camera and be like, yo, what's up, guys? It's Nightmare. Welcome back. We're here at. It is truly the hardest thing in the world to do, even around people that share the same mindset. Like, we're all here to play paintball, but you even with, I try to wear glasses when I am vlogging, so that way I can kind of side eye people who are side eyeing me. They're like, "What is he doing over there?" I'm like, "I'm watching you." Like, but when you're holding the camera up, you know, it literally looks like you're looking at the camera, but really I'm looking off that way. Like, what? You got a problem with me? You got a problem with me? You're hurting my feelings. But yeah, it's a hard thing to do, and I love it. I think people do need to see the humanity behind paintball, because we aren't punks. A lot of us are very professional. A lot of us are there for a cause, whether it be that's your sport, your hobby, your weight loss, your way to relieve stress, whatever it is that keeps bringing you back. Just keep doing it. You know, I've gone through ebbs and flows where, like, I want to quit, but I want to keep going. I want to quit. I want to stop YouTube. I want to keep playing paintball. Do I keep making videos? You know, but you always got to find what keeps bringing you back to the field, and it's always the people, because you're right. We're humans. We're fun people to be around. Just don't anger us on the field.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, right there, you just answered, pretty close to answered my next question I had for you, is what keeps you bringing back to the game, and why do you love it so much?
Oh, dude, that is such. That's a question I have to ask myself all the time. Why am I still doing this? And it's hard. It's really hard when you turn your hobby or what you do to relax into a business, which is what this is. And I'm very open and honest. I am a YouTuber, a content creator, as a way to supplement my income 100%. If you're going to put 20 to 30 hours a week into video editing, either you really love video editing or you're trying to do something with it. And I'm trying to do something with it. And that's always been my goal. But when you do that, you start to chip away at what you used to love slowly. You don't realize it at the time, but it slowly chips away. And I can remember 2017, 2018, and my best buddy Tuna, Blake, he was my sidekick for years. We used to run MagFed tournaments together. And I'd sit down and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. He's like, do what? I'm like, this isn't fun. You know, I come out, everyone's laughing, joking, having a good time, but I'm not, because, you know, all it takes is like a battery dying, a GoPro not recording. I didn't hit the start button. You know, the GoPro was flopping. You know, it was an amazing game. I got 30 kills, but, you know, the camera was angled just wrong and it ruined all the footage. So there's so many little things that just chip away at why you enjoy it. And when I started, even when I was making YouTube videos, it was still my way to relax. You know, very stressful real life job. And on the weekends, I just go shoot at people to just hit that reset button and start again on Monday. But yeah, so over time, it started to chip away at the passion, because now my focus wasn't playing paintball. It was making awesome video content, viral video content to get that paycheck every month. And even now, like I've spoken to Wolf, because, you know, we both kind of do the same thing. And we both have that same mindset where sometimes you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is so hard. Like, you spend hours making a video, you think it's going to be the next viral hit, and then, you know, you just get like a minute amount of views. But the second you get to the paintball field and you're in the staging area on your way to go play, and you hear your call sign, Nightmare, and you turn around, there's some little kid, and he's super happy to see you ear to ear. And he's like, man, I watched all your videos. I watched your trip here. I saw your Instagram stories. Like, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this. Like, I love it. I truly love it. Seeing other people smile makes me so happy. And it fills me with a passion that I can't even describe. Like, I don't know if it's because it feeds my ego and I need that, or if I just truly love seeing people happy. And I don't care which way it is, because either way, I'm making people happy and it makes me feel good. So I think it's like the perfect thing. And that's what keeps bringing me back. You know, YouTube is paying peanuts right now. Absolute peanuts. my business model's not good right now, but I love doing it because it's just so much fun. Wasaga was like the perfect example. Like, so many people were like, "You live in Ontario now?" I'm like, "Yeah, buddy." And they're like, "Yes, I'm going to be on the same field as you." I'm editing my next video. I'm hoping to have it out by Sunday. And the most value MVP for the red team, Scary Terry. He was a Riot Shield player. There's a little snippet in my video. He's a big part of my video, actually. It's a big flank that we did. And at one point he leans over, he goes, "I told you at the start of this day, it would be an absolute honor to play with you, sir. And I'm super happy that we're pushing this flank together." And we both fist bump, a couple of expletives in there that I had to bleep out, but then we kept on pushing. Like those moments, like if I didn't do what I was doing, I wouldn't have those cool moments where I get to share a moment with someone on the field, like it's super cool. I think that's what keeps bringing me back. So yeah, what brings me back, the people and the paycheck. Even if it's a minute paycheck right now, it's still something that helps buy me a bag of paint. You know what I mean? It's the one less thing I got to worry about. That one tank of gas that gets me to the next event.
Yeah, any little bit helps, honestly. Like, especially because as we know, paintball's not getting any cheaper.
And it won't, but although people complain about the price, but depending on where you play, it's still cheaper than it was, when paintball first started. I saw some of those prices, and if you account for inflation, whoa, paying for 10 balls, who would do that nowadays?
Yeah. Really, when you look at it overall, the prices are pretty good. Some places are better than others, but for the most part, I do like it how nobody really gouges you. Everybody is a community in all the fields, and they all do work together. So if I can buy a case of paint for $45 in the States, $45 American, that the next field in the States is probably going to be anywhere between 45 to 55. So you're in the ballpark. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been to some fields where, and we're going to talk Canadian prices for a second. My local field, I can buy a case of paint for, I believe it's $80. It's 5-star. It's great. It shoots pretty well. I'm not going to complain, but $80 for an entire case. Amazing pricing. And then he still breaks up it's still $20 a bag. I'm like, okay, this is amazing. If you want to play MagFed, $25, there you go. There are $20, you're good to go. But I find the fields that charge in excess of 100 to 150, or even I've seen up to $250 a case. I find when it comes to those fields, you're not paying for the paint. You're paying for the experience. Because if you're paying that much for the paint, a case, I guarantee you that field is going to give you an experience that you've never had in your life. Whether it be like giant structures or, they got explosions going off or whatever the case might be. The money that they're bringing in from that case of paint has gone back to the field and made it a multi-million-dollar field. So it's a kind of like ebb and flows. The $80 case of paint, you're going to go play at in the woods, and you're going to play some traditional paintball. But if you're paying excess to like $150 a case, you are probably getting an experience out of that. You are doing something a little bit more than just shooting your buddies 5-on-5. So sometimes it's justified.
One field in particular that comes to mind, it was years ago that we went, so I think it was Living Legends 12 or 13 at Legacy Paintball in Chicago. I always get the area wrong, and I got yelled at on YouTube about that, so I'll just say it's in Chicago. But those guys are absolutely amazing. Like, they hire set designers from TV shows and movies that make their set. Like, they have a crashed alien ship, and like it's a crashed alien ship, and it's a whole field, and it's freaking insane.
So yeah, like in that case, you have to get your cost somewhere, whether it be an extravagant field fee or just up the case of paint or price of paint. So it really depends. Like you sometimes you just got to look at what you're getting out of that day for that price. But in the grand scheme of things, like we said earlier, everything helps pay for that paint. So anybody who's out there who's thinking, maybe I want to start a paintball social media, the second you start making any sort of income, tax write-offs are a thing. a detailed receipt with a case of paint on it and a field fee and an air fee. You know, when April comes around, off she goes. Internet, lighting, rent. Just saying, it's even if you're not making a lot, our government's pretty good with tax cuts.
Yeah, there you go. I honestly never thought about that. I need to start doing that.
Just additional income. That's all you got to claim it as. Good to go. Keep your receipts.
Yeah. Well, we've pretty much come to the end of the interview. So what I do now for the interview is I am going to hand the channel over to you. What do you have coming up for the rest of 2024? Do you have anything special coming up in 2025? Social media, your YouTube channel, whatever. The channel is yours to sell yourself.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I live far too much by the seat of my pants. I don't plan for anything. I have no more big games scheduled for the season. So basically it's going to be keeping an eye on Facebook. If I see a cool event pop up, boom. If I have the cash ready to go, off I go for it. My local field, Wastelands Paintball, amazing small field. It's literally at the owner's house. When you pull into his driveway, it's literally enough room for like maybe 20 cars. You go around the back of his house and it's a paintball field. It's super cool. In about 2 weeks, he's doing another Warzone Plunder game. Just played that last weekend. Holy crap. Highly recommended. 3 teams of 5 or however many teams show up. But we did 3 teams of 5 and you're going around, you're collecting money on the field, bringing it back to your spawn point. And if you get shot, you go to the gulag. And you either 1v1 someone to get back on the field or you basically wait there until the jailbreak happens and everyone comes back out onto the field. Very, very cool scenario. And I think it's going to make for a very cool video when I get around to editing it. But so that's my next scenario game that I can think of. 2025, I have no idea what I'm doing. That's I don't even know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow, let alone thinking about 2025. But I feel like 2025 is going to be my make or break year. It's when I have to really make that decision. Do I keep the business going and have it bleed, or do I figure out what needs to be tweaked to make it work? And I think I've got some ideas. I also plan on doing some live streaming. I've always done live streaming on another channel. So that's something that I kind of do. That's kind of the whole reason for this cool setup that I've got. But outside of that, I don't think I have too much on the go. I'm just super stoked to be in Ontario. I've got so many cool fields around me. There is a plethora of events out here, so much that like you have to almost choose what you want to go to. It's like, oh, well, there's 2 events running at the same time. I got this tournament over here, or I got this scenario over here. I'm not a big camper, so every event I have to go to, it's either like I have to either plan a hotel stay if it's going to be that long of a drive, or it's got to be a get up super early and get back super late kind of thing. As my old arthritis knees don't like sleeping out in the cold or the heat anymore. I'm a bit of a diva, if you will, when it comes to paintball and camping. It's for the peasants. No, I'm just kidding. I just can't do it. My body's like, dog. Anybody who's seen me play on the paintball field knows I come off limping, and it's usually not from any sort of hits. It's usually from me just abusing the crap out of my body, the adrenaline numbing the pain, and then I just kind of come back and I'm like, okay, let me reload, which I think is kind of the reason why I've started to transition away from MagFed over to like the box mag rotor. It's so much easier and so much faster to reload, and I'm not sitting there dying, twisting mags, hating my life, going, I gotta work even during my break. And then especially if I'm shooting first strikes and then it's 1 by 1 inside the mag, then there's no break to it, right? So I play hard and then I don't get a break. So Wasaga really opened up my eyes to using a pod pack, using an inverted hopper, and actually enjoying 5 minutes of calm before the storm again. Like I don't know if I can equate this right, but when I took off my pod pack for the very first time, I've never had a pod pack in paintball ever. Sorry, I've had one. It was like one of those GXG old school pod packs where the air tank would like sit in the mid of your back and you had like the 2 pods on each side. That's the only time I've ever had one of those, and I only had it for like a week. But when I took off my pod pack, I I don't know if this is true, but maybe someone in your comments can let us know. If that's what I'm assuming that's what it feels like when a woman takes off a bra at the end of the day. I like when my wife at the end of the day, she's tired, she's done, and it's just, bah, she's like, oh, thank God. When I came into that intensity tent and I took off that pod pack, I was like, oh, thank God. Oh. But I wasn't afraid to put it back on like I would be with my vest. Whenever I'm wearing the vest, that thing it goes on the morning and it stays on through the whole day. There's no taking that thing off, because if I do, I look at it, I'm like, it's literally dripping. I ain't putting that back on. It's done. We're done with I'm going home. But yeah, I think 2025, if I can make any sort of prediction, it's going to be a little bit less mag-fed and trying to cater more to a broader audience within paintball. Paintball is a niche. Mag-fed is a niche within a niche. And it's not something that people are looking for online as much as they were when mag-fed was at its peak, which was definitely before COVID. So now it's just enjoying paintball for what it is. Shooting ropes as fast as I can, 8 balls per second. Can't complain, man. It's a wild ride. I can't wait. I feel like a kid just talking about it.
Yeah, you can tell. Honestly, you can tell, which is great, and I love to see it, and I really do. It makes me feel really good when you see other people enjoying it as much as I do, as much as like the rest of the guys do. I really enjoy seeing that, and you can definitely tell on your face and the way that you talk about it that, like you said, it is a job and helps you with your income, but it also shows 100% that you are in it still for the right reasons.
Oh, 100%. You have to be. You have to remind yourself why you're still doing it. And luckily, I've got an amazing community. I've got a great Discord that I pop into every day. And whenever I feel like I'm on cloud 9, they quickly know how to bring me back down to earth, which I truly appreciate. So it's good to have those kind of people around you that, as soon as your head starts getting a little big, they're like, denied, Nightmare. Get back down here with the rest of us. So it's I love what I do. I truly do. It's so much fun. But, to anybody who wants to get into this space, you got to be strong. You're going to deal with criticism. And it's all about finding out what can you do that someone else isn't doing already. Because if you're just copying what somebody else is doing, I guarantee you that person is already doing it better than you ever will. And it's not worth trying to take their thunder or piggyback on their coattails. So what I like to do often is I'll sit back away from paintball and I'll see what everybody's doing for a second. And then I'll see where there's a hole that I can fit in. And then I'll go for it. And I think that's what I'm doing right now. I found a little hole. I'm going to go for it, see what happens. Otherwise you're kind of just copying what everybody else is doing. At the peak, you had Alabaster Slim, Hedgehog, myself, Wolf, who else was doing first person style videos? I think there was, oh my God, I can see his face. Dreadcam. He was doing it. The Assassins all had cameras at the time. But the problem is we were all kind of making the exact same kind of content. And when you make content that's exactly the same as somebody else's, just with your slight flavor on it, it dilutes the product, and then nobody really wins in the long run. So anybody who wants to get into it, try to find out a spot that works for you. If you're serious about it, just have fun with it. And if it takes off, you get that one viral hit, figure out what made it viral and copy the formula. Don't copy the video, copy the formula that made that video and figure out why it took off and what happened in it. Shorts content is great right now. If you're trying to get anywhere on YouTube, I'm telling you, shorts, if you're trying to get people eyes on your content, it's YouTube's pushing shorts hard. I just posted one the other day and I think it's already got like 60,000 views on it. It's insane. And shorts are monetized. So just saying, like, it's not a lot, but it's every penny counts. So my big advice to any creator who wants to try and make it big, if you will, as big as paintball is, try shorts. That's always my word of advice, because The world doesn't have the attention span for 20-minute paintball videos anymore. We just don't. No one knows how to make paintball videos interesting. Even myself, I'll watch my old ones or I'll watch what I'm working on and I'm like, this is not interesting at all. I'm still going to post it, but I'm just not interested in this. But then you got to try to make it interesting. So that's the challenge. So I challenge everybody, get out there, have fun with it. Just do it for the fun, do it for the lulz. And then if something happens with it, you're one of the lucky, one of the few that's ever made $1 from paintball.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So, well, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough for coming on to the channel. Make sure you guys check out all his social media. I will have it all linked below. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you click the like and subscribe button before you get offline so you can stay up to date with everything coming out of this channel. And I will see you, Nightmare, out on the field.
Absolutely. If you went on to enjoy this video in any way, shape, and or form, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to his channel, and I'll catch you all on the next one. But until then, Nightmare out.